having a few issues with the morale of the squad at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually give Zlatan a ring. Hi there, Zlatan, it's Alex. Right, I just need a favour from you, Zlatan. Yeah, I know your name's Zlatan, I know that. No, right, we're getting off track here. I was just wondering if you could run a team meeting, try and get the morale up of the squad a little bit. What do you mean your name's... I know your name's Zlatan. No, I'm not shouting at you. No, I'm not having a go at you. I'm asking nicely. Zlatan, just, right, question, right. As simple as possible. No, I'm not calling you... Can you run a team meeting, yes or no? The squad hates me. He hates me, apparently. Oh, hello. Happy New Year, everyone. Football Manager, New Year, get the party poppers out, get the cocktail sausages, get the fruit shoots out, all that malarkey. Some of you may be wondering why it's just me at this party. Quite frankly, I wasn't invited to the yearly squad Christmas party, so yeah, I've had to run one by myself. I know it sounds pathetic, but just right. Let's move on. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of the AC Milan Football Manager 2021 series here with me, Alex. So, as you can probably tell from the absolutely genius intro I've just done, it's not going as well as I'd want it to. I mean, we're still not doing that great in the league. Thankfully, in the Euro Cup, we have progressed, but I'm having a lot of issues with players at the moment. Quite a few players are unhappy, and I've messed up a few team talks, which the managerial support isn't great, and the dressing room atmosphere is okay. I mean, if we have a look, as you can see, it's okay. It could be better. But I'm starting to think, unless we start improving our league position from 8th, it could start sliding down at quite an exponential rate. And thankfully, the board is quite happy with me at the moment. However, if we don't start winning more in Serie A, it's not going to go brilliantly. Oh, God, I'm so scared. I don't want to lose the morale of the squad. As I said, we have got quite a few players unhappy. Brahim Diaz, Delo, Lucas Moura, who's annoyed at me after spending about 4 months at the club. Musacchio and Krunic are all relatively unhappy here. So, I can't afford to have many other players start being annoyed at me, otherwise we are going to have a bit of an issue. So obviously there's been quite a big break from the previous episode, which was, of course, the 3-0 loss away at Zebra. And since then we've played a hell of a lot of games, up to, what is this, a month and a half worth of games at least we've gone through. And on the grand scheme of things, you're probably looking at that like, oh, Alex, you're doing really well. Look at all them wins. Yeah, 3 of them wins have come in the Euro Cup against teams that we should be beating. And we're losing against teams in the league that we shouldn't be losing against. So I feel like these Euro Cup wins very much put a little bit of gloss on what is actually not going terrifically well in the league. I mean, we've lost 6 games already. We've literally lost 6 games already, only won 7, and we are losing track of the boys at the top here. I mean, Sassuolo are 7 points clear of me in the Champions League spots, which is a little bit of concern, and we can't lose too much track on Fiorentina in 5th, otherwise there is going to be a little bit of carnage going on at the club. No, but we are going to go through each individual game now, so that you have an idea on how the games have been. So we're going to kickstart off with 3 games in a row in Europe. So we're going to kickstart off things with Basel. Okay, so as I said, the first game was against Basel. Obviously, we actually lost the game against these lot last time we played them, only a few games before this. And I honestly thought them coming to our place would be able to, get a comfortable win. I mean, it was a pretty dominant display from our boys. Once again, Zlatan really struggling again. Lucas Moura actually having a good game, and our entire defensive line having a very good game as well. But in terms of the expected goals, the game was very much in our favour, and I'm really disappointed we weren't able to get ourselves a win here. We definitely had the chances. The 3 on target is a bit of an issue, potentially something we need to keep an eye on if we want to continue progressing. Well, we're not progressing well at the moment, but you get my gist. So obviously have we actually won one in Europe yet? We haven't. We've won one game in Europe, which was against Fisaspor, and so we've got one loss, 1 win, and 1 draw. So we need to start getting wins on the board, otherwise we are going to be struggling a little bit. And then the next game, away from home, probably the toughest game in the Euro Cup group, was against, how do you say these, AZ Alkmaar, a 1-0 away win, which, quite frankly, we were very lucky to get away with this because we were not at the races. Thankfully, Lucas Moura starting to get a few goals in the game now, or during the season, with a 74th minute goal. So quite late on in the game, putting Alkmaar in a pretty bad position where they had to go for it a little bit. So we just sat back. I did the horrible thing of started to time waste, and thankfully we were able to see the game out pretty significantly. But the stats are definitely on our side. They only had a 0.28 expected goals. We had a 1.39. So overall, the score probably reflecting what should have happened anyway, which was a win for us. Now, the third Euro Cup game in a row was an away game against Fisaspor, a 2-1 win. Thankfully, Tonali got himself a brace. And Kyode getting a goal for them. Thankfully, Tonali got a goal just before half-time. Kyode equalised in the 59th minute, and Tonali, once again, another late goal from our side, getting himself a goal in the 77th minute. And you'd probably say we were pretty fortunate to get ourselves a win here, considering if you look at the stats, we were pretty... we were dominated by a side that arguably we are better than, which was a little bit of a concern. Obviously, Max Gradle, the ex-Norwich, ex-Bournemouth player, coming over to Turkey, apparently, from Toulouse, not having a good game. I believe he scored against us last time we played against this team, so it was nice to nullify him. But once again, although these lot are bottom of our group, they're no pushovers by any means. They did cause us a lot more problems than I expected, especially more problems than the Alkmaar game. But thankfully, we did get a win, and we carried on. Okay, so straight after them 3 Euro Cup games, we actually had our first league game in quite a while. In about 2 weeks, we had our first league game, which was against bottom of the table. Yes, bottom of the table, Spezia. And once again, a game you'd expect us to dominate, but we only managed to muster a 1-0 win at home. And it was a fairly boring game, to be fair. Benekio actually scoring 1 minute into the final few minutes of the game. So we were very fortunate to get ourselves a win against these lot. Obviously, a fairly boring game. They had 2 shots on target. We had 4. We had 9 shots. They had 3. Very poor expected goals against a side that I don't even know if these lot have actually won a game yet. Have they won a game? You can't see that, so I'll move my camera. So they haven't actually won a game yet. Oh no, they have won 1, sorry. Sampdoria have won 1, Genoa have won 2. So who was that game against, out of curiosity? It was at home to Parma. Obviously Parma, one of them teams that are going to be down there by the looks of it. Spezia, struggling side. It's a shame that we couldn't dominate a little bit more than we wanted to, but thankfully, the 3 points, that's what's most important. Okay, so the next game was a Euro Cup game, a 2-0 win against Alkmaar. We got 2 wins out of 2 against these lot, right? Yeah, we've 2 wins out of 2, and I think this actually secured our qualification into the next round. An absolute first dominant display in quite a while. Zlatan getting himself on the score sheet, and Conti getting himself on the score sheet as well. Obviously, Conti, our right back, who is a pretty decent right back, to be fair, if I remember correctly. Not worth a lot, but still a good right back nonetheless. And there's not much to say about this game. We were completely dominant from start to finish. Looking at the graph, as you can see, they didn't really get any decent chances till about halfway through the game. But by then, we were already pretty much on top. We'd already been 1-0 ahead, and thankfully Zlatan got himself a goal, putting us 2-0 ahead. Then, thankfully, we got back to our normal league game campaign. So 2 wins, 2 losses. Kickstarting this 4-game 50-50 sort of run was a 1-0 win away at Cagliari. Once again, a game that we were very, very fortunate to all them stats. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's bad. That is bad. How we didn't lose or draw this is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. We had 2, oh my God, 0.2 expected goals. Oh, that's brutal. That's bloody brutal. I don't know how we won this, but thankfully we did. They were very, very unlucky not to get a win or a draw there, and probably a game that you'd expect us to lose. You went into a game that we were expected to win against Atalanta, and a 50-50 game, a game that we were definitely probably the better side in. 5 shots to their 3 on target, 9 shots to their 7 overall. Better expected goals, but we just couldn't muster up a goal, unfortunately. As you can see, we were pretty on top in terms of the expected goals, but they had a little flurry of chances coming towards the end of the second half. Now, during this game, I was actually concerned that this was going to start a bad run for us. It was going to start, a little bit of a bad run that we had against the likes of Zebra Sassuolo that we can't afford to have at this stage of the season. But thankfully, we went away to Udinese. This is very much I feel like this is very much games that we were expected to win. Games we're expected to win, we're losing. And games we're expected to lose, we're winning. So Udinese away, a 2-1 win. And I love that. I love them kits, by the way. Them kits are very jazzy. They've got a lasagna, the food up top, apparently. So we're all terrified. A very even game. Udinese, arguably with a better... Well, they did get the better expected goals, arguably deserving more than what they got out of the game. We even on shots... Very close to being even on the on-target shots as well. Overall, their team had a pretty good game, other than a few players there. The defence in particular struggled a little bit. But thankfully, getting 3 points, we then went to Fiorentina, who are 5th in the table. I actually thought Fiorentina were lower in the table than that. And a 2-0 loss against Fiorentina. A very boring, even game once again. 10 shots overall in this entire game, and by that graph you can tell how dominant Fiorentina were in terms of getting expected goal chances or chances to improve their expected goals, and we didn't really have a chance probably till towards the end of the first half probably, and then since then we just struggled. We did manage to get ourselves oh no, who's the red? Oh right, purple is Fiorentina. We did get ourselves a few chances by the looks of it towards the end of the game, but it was a little too late, unfortunately. And Patrick Catone, obviously ex-Wolves, he's still at Wolves, and he is previously from Milan as well, potentially someone we could look to get in the future to replace Zlatan maybe. Obviously decent potential, and he's decent overall in this game. But yeah, they are all the results that we've had since the last episode. Let me know what your thoughts on them. I appreciate that was quite a long sort of overview of the results. Let me know if you think that we should only pick certain games to have a look at, or if you'd rather have a look at all of them. I'm more than happy to look into that and take feedback on board. But yeah, let's go to today's game, which is a massive game against Roma. Okay, so we are into today's game, and Roma away from home is going to be a very, very difficult game. Roma are currently in 11th, so they haven't had a great start to the year either. Unfortunately, they are just coming off the back of a 2-0 win against Sampdoria, so their morale's probably going to be relatively, probably better than ours, considering we've come back off a loss. As you can see, Lazio and Juventus Zebra are dominating the league at the moment. Lazio pretty good apparently in this game. I didn't realise how good they'd be. Obviously, they have the likes of Luis Alberto, who is absolutely brilliant, apparently. Obviously, ex-Liverpool, didn't have the greatest of times at Liverpool, but Lazio are pretty good in this game, apparently. They have a 34-year-old Stephen Radu. How long have you been at Lazio? Quite a while. And Sirio Immobile. I mean, we're looking at the wrong team here. Let's have a look at the Roma side before we go into the game. They've got Edin Dzeko, Pedro. Is that the Pedro? It is. They've got Mkhitaryan. They're basically getting a Legends XI here. Got Chris Smalling, take it back. David Santon, when he was at Newcastle. I mean, what an interesting set of affairs this is. They bought Morelos from Rangers. I mean, they've got an Javier Pastore, potentially the least effective playmaker on Football Manager in this day and age. But yeah, regardless of their side, it's going to be a difficult game, and we're going to stick with the strongest team that we have. We are going to play Rebic, Moura and Zlatan up top, Tonali, Cavallo and Benacer in that midfield trio, Theo Hernandez, Romagnoli, Jair and Conte in that defensive four, and Donnarumma in goal. There has been a little bit of there has been a little bit of interest around Donnarumma recently, which is a little bit of concern. I can't remember how long ago it was. There was a team that was interested in Donnarumma, and that someone is interested in Theo Hernandez as well. I think this is Atletico Madrid. So potentially a January transfer for Theo. We prefer it obviously not to happen, but we'll have to wait and see. But here we go, boys. Massive game now. We are in 8th. We need to get a win here to keep within touching distance of our side. Like, we can't afford to get another loss, but asking for a win against a tough Roma side is always going to be relatively difficult. But our team talk's out the way. Let's go into the game after this press conference. Here we go. Okay, so we're 10 minutes in, and what I've realised as well is that a lot of teams are still playing this weird formation that looks like an arrow. I don't think I've actually seen a team that doesn't play this formation at the moment, so I don't know how to react. Like, it's a weird formation. It's been a very boring game up to this point. 30 minutes gone, no one's really creating any chances, even on extended highlights as well, right? No, we're on key highlights. Even on key highlights, not one single chance. But, oh, here we go. That is a little bit slow for me. This is for Roma, annoyingly, and it's a great tackle from Theo. That is not a penalty, ref. Right. VAR, AAR, Alex, assistant referee, get it trending. It needs to be... I mean, the ref's just gone through 2 jumping people there. How rude of him. That's absolutely rudeness. I mean, the players are all having a fun time, apparently. It's not a penalty. Right, good. VAR's fantastic. I love VAR. Absolutely love it. It's best... Oh, if they score now, that is going to be a little bit of a bummer. Rebic, can we tackle him? Oh, that was our chance to break there. Going into half time. That's a boring game, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going to be happy if this does end in a 0-0 here. This is going to be a little bit of a disappointing result. Disappointing game overall. There's been no chances at all. We are having the better of the game, though. Okay, 20 minutes to go. We do have a few players struggling in terms of fitness, so we are going to bring some fresh legs on. We're going to bring on Krunic to replace Tonali, and we're going to bring on Hakan on for Rebic. And we'll keep it like that for now. A draw away from home to Roma is not a terrible result. But obviously a win would be much, much better. And this would be the perfect time for us to get a goal, Football Manager. Please. Get a goal, please. Okay, right. Well, that game was boring. Jesus Christ. That was horrendous. I mean, I don't know how to react. What a boring game. I mean, we apparently move into a continental qualification spot, though. I mean, madness. I mean, we're in the Euro Cup race. We can only be happy with that. I mean, a point does keep us within touch and distance of Fiorentina, who I'm assuming lost their game. They did at home to Juventus, so thankfully Juventus getting another win. And does that put them top? But no, Lazio continue to win. Juventus are still unbeaten, apparently. And Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 11 goals. But yeah, that is going to bring us towards the end of the episode. Obviously, I want to apologise for that very boring game. I do apologise for that. I'm sorry that Roma game was a little bit boring, but them games are going to happen, right? Like, we have games that are very, very action-packed, and then we have games that are just very, very boring, and unfortunately, that Roma game was relatively boring. So I do apologise for that. Hopefully the next one will be a little bit more interesting. So what I think we'll do, we're going to come back for... I feel like we'll come back for the... I sound like a car there. Well, we don't want a massive gap like we did just then. So I say we'll come back for the Bologna game. So we've got a few games still to play. We've got the Italian Cup first round, and we've got 3 Serie A against Inter as well. Jesus. Napoli in 15. So we're going to come back for the Bologna game. So, yeah. We'll come back for then. So here we go then. We are coming towards the end of the episode. Obviously, I want to thank you all very much for watching. You know the gist. Twitter, Twitch. Come and join me when I'm live. And yeah, well, I did, just as a little teaser, I signed Buendia from Norwich as Fulham. So, and I haven't been sacked. So if that isn't enough reason for you to come and watch me, I don't know what is. No, but thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a lovely morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.